This video is intended for audiences over the age of 13. If you are not 13 years or older, please click away from this video now. You have been warned. What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with another toy room review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Playmobil Back to the Future Delorean set. Now this is really cool. I've never been a fan of Playmobil, never picked up any of their stuff, but I was really interested when they released their Ghostbusters line of figures and vehicles, and now they released Back to the Future. And if you guys know me, you know I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, so I definitely had to pick this up. Now this set retails at $50, so let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging and see everything that is included in this set. So as you can see right here on the front, you obviously have the DeLorean with all the light up effects, which is very nice, but you also see Marty inside of the DeLorean, as well as Doc and Einstein right here, and some of the accessories that they come with. Now this isn't a crazy build like Lego or anything. This is only 64 pieces, so there's really not much to put together, so the assembly process shouldn't be too bad. One detail that I really like on the box as we zoom in is right here. You can actually see the Twin Pines Mall right there in the background behind the Playmobil version of the DeLorean. That's just a really nice little detail, little Easter egg right there that I'm sure a lot of people may not even realize is on there. So that's really nice. But just looking at this box, man, I just really love this artwork. As you can see, fully showcases all the figures and everything like that, and obviously the action feature, which is the flying mode right there. But now moving on to the side, and we'll have to really get this on the side right here. You can see it's just the image of the little minifigures that it comes with Marty, Doc, and it doesn't show Einstein, but Einstein is included as well. But then coming to the back, you see some more of the different action features with the Plutonium, the electronics right there, the Flux Capacitor, and the time circuits right there. And you see a little advertisement right down here for the 1950 versions of these characters in mini figure form, or I don't know what they call these, mini figure, mini mates, I don't know. But as you can see, just mini figure form. I'm gonna go with mini figure. So I definitely want to pick up that set as well. But I was more interested in picking this set up first. Coming to this side, you can see Marty on the skateboard right there, and on the top you just get the Back to the Future logo with like this kind of space background, and then the Playmobil logo right there. So that is pretty much it for the packaging. So let me go ahead and get this out of the packaging, get it assembled, and we'll take a closer detailed look at the brand new Playmobil Back to the Future. Alright, you guys, and here is the DeLorean out of the packaging and fully assembled. Now the assembly wasn't too difficult. It really took me about 30 minutes or so. There is a lot of stickers, and way more stickers than I thought that you do have to apply, so that is going to take up just a little bit of your time to make sure that you get them on correctly. But just to give you an idea of the stickers, you have stickers all along here, all along this side is all stickers right here, and then same thing on this side as well. And then you also have stickers right here on the back as well. This whole back piece is all stickers, and then there's other stuff that you have to pop in, like the bumpers and whatnot. So basically you get the whole shell of the car, and then everything else you have to kind of clip in, like the little exhaust vents here, and obviously the pole back here and all the other stuff. But we'll take a closer look at the DeLorean in a second. I did want to show you guys the DeLorean with the figures actually inside of it, because I don't think I'll actually be able to get them back in again. Getting them in on the passenger side isn't an issue, because there's tons of space on the passenger side. You can get them in, no problem. You can see I even have Doc holding an accessory in there, so that's no problem. The issue is on the driver's side because of this massive steering wheel. So let me go ahead and take Marty out of here if I can even get him out. You'll see that his feet and the steering wheel are always like hitting each other, so it's actually very difficult to get him in there. And this is my first time trying to take him out, and it's just as hard to actually get him out. So let's see if we can finagle him. There we go. So we did get him out. So we'll put him to the side, and yeah, as you can see, that was just not as easy as I would like it to be, because that is a very big steering wheel in there, and that steering wheel basically goes all the way down to the footwell. So just issues with that there. But we'll take a look at the DeLorean last. I want to take a look at all the accessories that actually come with this. So we have Einstein and Doc, and then we also have Marty, and then they all come with their respective accessories, which is just a ton of them. There's way more accessories than I actually thought that there would be, which is just really awesome, and they're all really detailed out very nice. nicely. So let's go ahead and start with Einstein. So as you can see here, you have a little minifigure of Einstein, and you know, it looks really nice. You know, there's a little bit of texture. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. Maybe if I bring the light just a little bit more this way. There's a little bit of texture in the actual fur right there, which is very nice. It's not just a solid plastic. And you even have the detail of the stopwatch painted around his neck, which is very, very cool. But it doesn't exactly look like Einstein from the movie, but either way, it's a nice little accessory to have. He does have a little bit of movement right here in the tail as well as the head, so you can kind of get him going from like a happy expression to almost like a sad expression if you put the tail down and put his head down right there. So that's just a nice little added playability right there with Einstein. Then moving on to Doc, as you can tell, he has a bunch of accessories. So the figure itself is just very nice. We'll take some of these accessories off so we can get a better look at him. One second, there we go. So you can see he has his lab coat on, and he has even his yellow boots, his work boots right there. He has a stopwatch, which is a separate piece that you clip on, and he has his tool belt, which is also a separate piece, along with the actual like bag that's connected to the belt, which that's a separate piece as well. But just very, very nice detail. Again, he's got another stopwatch here. We do have some unpainted detail right there, but nothing too major. And of course you have the nice looking Playmobil stylized head sculpt, and then coming to the back, the radioactive sign right there. So that's very nice detail on Doc. And some of the other accessories that he does come with is a little stopwatch right here, which is just a like piece of rubber, so it just stretches around his head, as you guys saw when I took it off. And we'll go ahead and do that. Boom, boom, boom. And then there you go. So now you have this really long stopwatch that hangs all the way down to basically his knees. But you have the long little like stopwatch thing right there, which is pretty cool. And then you also have the remote control that actually controls the DeLorean in the movie, which is a very nice attention to detail on the sticker right there. So that's very nice. But because of the way that these figures are like made, he can only properly, like, he can't really properly hold it. I guess you could kind of like twist his hands, but he's always just kind of holding it outwards like that, which always looks a little weird, but it's still a nice little accessory to have right there. So putting Doc to the side, we move on to the plutonium container, I guess. Now this whole thing is stickers. So it's just a gray piece of plastic. It's plain, there's nothing on it. All of these stickers you have to apply. And for the most part, they came out looking pretty well. I think I did a decent job on the stickers right there. But as you can hear, there's actually stuff inside of here. But let's go ahead and take a look at the actual plutonium itself. So, you know, it looks very, very nice. Like I said, the stickers, you can see a little bit of like the air bubbles in it, but other than that, you know, it looks pretty decent. So let's go ahead and open it up. So it has a little clip here. You open that clip and you actually do have some spare plutonium, which these things are actually really nice. I love the actual like clear plastic. It's like a neon orange piece that picks up light very, very well, and it just illuminates. I don't know if the camera's doing a good job of picking it up, but it's just really cool how this illuminates and just picks up light. So that's cool. Look, it does make it look really radioactive. So to go ahead and close it, you just do just like that. You close it. So moving on to Marty, we have his signature outfit right here. So you have, of course, the life vest with the button shirt and the jean jacket, or the denim jacket, as well as these little like cufflinks right here, which were part of the jacket and have that little design on there. And then you do have the blue jeans and the white sneakers as well. So that is very, very nice. When you look at it, you can definitely tell that this is Marty just by the iconic details in the costume, and the colors and everything are very, very nice on this. So Marty's accessories are really cool. So of course, you have his skateboard, which has all the details that it should have on it. It was very cool that they were able to actually do that and pull that off and have all the details on there. It just looks very, very cool, and it actually does roll, you know, fairly well for, you know, for a skateboard at least. It rolls well. And then another nice detail is the camcorder. It looks very, very nice. Doesn't have the JVC branding on it, but still, I mean, you can clearly tell that this is the one from the movie, and it just looks very, very nice. Now, again, he can hold all of these same way Doc can hold his accessories. So this one, he actually holds it right there, but it's actually meant to actually be held in this hand, so it actually looks right. So let's go ahead, switch the hands, and there you go. And it's made in a way that it actually lines up perfectly with his eyes when he is holding it, so that's very nice. Now he can't actually hold his skateboard, but it does have this little peg here, so that when you put him down and you can kind of just spread his feet apart, it works in a way that he actually stands on the skateboard perfectly now. The rolling and stuff isn't going to work as well with this camcorder that he's holding because it's going to be a little back heavy, but once you take that off, he actually stands on there very nice, and he still tends to lean back a little bit when you try and roll it, but just as a stationary looking figure, I mean, that's really cool that you have the skateboard right there, and that you have all the nice little details that come on there, so that's really, really cool. But moving on to the star of this set, obviously, whoever's buying this set is more than likely buying it for the actual DeLorean, and man, this thing looks absolutely amazing. So obviously the plastic, it's all just plastic, it's not die cast or anything, so you're not going to get that metallic sheen to it, and you do have a lot of marbling in the plastic, as you can see all these lines coming up on the door right here, and you have a little bit in the hood as well, and then the same thing on this side. Not a big fan of that, but it's not too distracting, and it's really not that bad. But let's just go ahead and take a look, starting with the front. So you have this blue translucent plastic piece with these stickers as well, and there's a bunch of holes going all throughout the stickers to actually help the light kind of go through it, which I'll show off in a little bit. Moving on to the actual wheels, they roll very, very nicely. This whole car rolls fairly nice. Just make sure when you are assembling this, you will notice that the back wheels are actually bigger than the front wheels, so just make sure you put them in the right spot, because I made the mistake, I thought they were all the same size, and I put the back wheels on the front and it was rubbing and the tires would not roll. Then I realized a good way to know which is which is you see the tread pattern on the bottom is different. It's a zigzag pattern on the back and a straight line pattern on the front, so that's one thing to look out for. And one thing that I forgot to mention on the box that I didn't notice when I was doing the box was that these do require 2 AAA batteries, so you are going to need 2 AAA batteries that are not included. And this piece fell off, so we'll go ahead and put that right back on. So moving on, like I said, the wheels roll very nicely, and the detail on here is just really, really nice. So you have all these little separate hoses and pieces right here that all connect, and they are separate little pieces that you do have to attach, which is just very, very nice detail right there. And moving to the back, of course, you have that out-of-time license plate with the DeLorean tail lights, which I mentioned these are a sticker, but the sticker is very high quality and looks very, very nice. You can see the DeLorean right there imprinted on the bumper, on the rear bumper, which is awesome. And then, of course, you have all the gadgets and gizmos and hoses and everything back here. This is all one piece right here that you actually snap in. But one really cool feature is this actually has, as we drop the antenna, this has removable plutonium. So as you can see with the case earlier, we have extra plutonium, which we could actually just put in here and slide it in, and it's removable, and that is really cool. Out of all the DeLoreans I have in my collection, none of them have this feature, so that is just very, very nice. And obviously we dropped the antenna, so we'll take a look at that antenna. It's just a black piece of plastic, but it looks very, very nice, and just kind of slides and ports into that little section right there. But we'll take it off because it is kind of hitting the camera and whatnot. But as you can see, just great, great details all throughout. And even though it's not a metallic paint job on here or anything, or die cast, it still has a little bit of a sheen to it, which does look very nice. It's not just a flat gray plastic. Coming to this side, you're going to have basically all the same exact details. So let's go ahead and move into the doors. Now the doors open very nicely, and they can kind of go at whatever spot you want them to, except for right there obviously. But yeah, they open up very nicely, they hinge very nicely, and you do the same on this side. And just getting a look at the interior, like I mentioned, that steering wheel is a big issue for me just because it's so massive. But other than that, you have all the details that you would expect from a Back to the Future DeLorean. If we can get the camera to focus, there we go. So you can see the flux capacitor back there, which I'll show off a little more once we actually illuminate this thing a little later. But then another shot of it right there, and I'll try and zoom in if I can. Let's see what we can get. There we go. So that's a great shot of the interior right there. You can see all the little details and the little time switch right there. And then we actually have all of the timestamps right here from the movie. It's going to be a little hard to see. I'll see how far we can get, but you guys can make it out. It actually does have the dates from the movie listed right there, so we'll go ahead and zoom out. There we go. So just great, great detail on that. So now, oh, another good detail on here is they actually have the cutout for the window. If you guys know DeLoreans, the whole window doesn't roll down, only the small section right here, which they actually have that, and they have a cutout for it, and it actually does make it easier opening and closing the doors. That's really nice that they actually included that little detail in the windows right there. But let's go ahead and cut off all the lights and show you guys what this thing looks like lit up, because it actually is really, really so the awesome. Lights are off. So on the bottom there's a little switch, and you're just going to press that, and there we go. Let's move the antenna out of the way, and let's get the camera to focus. So there it is, all lit up. So this thing looks awesome. It's very, very bright. The camera's really not doing it justice since it is daytime outside. I still have some light coming into the room, but it has a few modes. It has this like blinking mode that slowly goes into just like a regular standard mode, which if we open up, I can give you guys a good shot of that flux capacitor. So even that on the inside is just lit up. That is very, very cool. So let me go ahead and press the button again. So it's back into that blinking mode, and you can see the flux capacitor just kind of blinking back and forth on the inside in there. Looks very, very nice. And then it also has just a standard light mode, so if you press the button again, the lights will just stay on the whole time, which is very nice. And then if you press the button again, the lights will turn off. So that's just very, very cool, man. This thing lights up really, really well. And it's just going to make a very, very cool display piece. I'm probably going to have this in the background of my video somewhere. How could I forget the action feature on this? So other than the plutonium, there is another action feature. I'm keeping that antenna off. It keeps falling all over the place. You can actually transform this into the hover version of the DeLorean, and this just came off, so let me fix that. So in order to do the hover feature, all you have to do is unclip these little tabs right here on the bottom. So you just kind of pull back and then push inwards, and all the wheels will fold inwards and click right into place. So did that one go into place? That one did not. So let's snap that one into place. There we go. And then snap this one. It's kind of weird, so you kind of click forward but then push inwards after, so it's a little weird, but once you get used to it, that one did not snap in place. There we go. So now you have the Back to the Future 2 hover flying DeLorean, which is awesome. There's only one issue. There's no Mr. Fusion. Obviously, Back to the Future 2, when you had the hovering time machine, you had the Mr. Fusion on the back, and it seems like it would be really simple, especially since they included like 2 or 3 extra of these plutoniums, that they could have just made one of these into a Mr. Fusion and just made it, you know, a separate piece that you can actually put in there. That's my only issue, but in the hover mode, you know, it actually looks very, very nice. I don't know if they sell a stand. It doesn't look like there's a stand, but if you could find some way to display this kind of hovering in the air, I think that would be really, really cool. And let me just show you guys what it looks like with the lights on while it's in hover mode. So we'll cut some of these lights off in here so you can see that looks very, very nice. So really, really awesome. Again, I absolutely love this piece. Overall, this set is just so cool. If you're a Back to the Future fan, you know, this is just awesome. It's $50 and you get a ton of accessories. You have the lighted features. You have all just the little details that frankly a lot of the other DeLorean sets that I have don't even come with. Now my biggest fear when I picked this up was I thought that the DeLorean was going to be a little square, a little boxy, because again, this is a kid's toy. This is intended for kids, and I thought that it wasn't really going to look exactly like a DeLorean. It was probably going to be a little stylized and whatnot, but overall, I mean, this is honestly a great looking DeLorean. And actually, let me bring in another DeLorean that I have just for a comparison. So here's a die-cast model of a DeLorean that I have. I believe this is maybe like a 1/24 scale, or maybe even a little different scale than that. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll take a look at the two side by side. So obviously the bigger one on the right is the Playmobil version, but as you can see, you know, they look really good, man. I mean, the details in the Playmobil one aren't really that far off from what a normal one would actually look like. Obviously it's a little bit more bulky and cheaper plastic and whatnot, but just all the details are there. Now obviously this die-cast one that I have does not light up. It is missing the features on the back of the out-of-time license plate. I just noticed the Playmobil is actually missing the exhaust vents on the back. You don't have that detail there, but that's not that big of a deal. But I mean, overall, everything you need is there. Now, the details are sculpted on the Playmobil one, but they're not necessarily painted on there, as you can see with like this little blue side piece right there on the two of them. But overall, just a really great looking piece. My only issue is that antenna, man. That antenna keeps falling over. But yeah, just a really great looking piece, especially compared to this one that's way more fancier and not as expensive, but just way higher quality because it is a die-cast model. So there's my review on the brand new Playmobil Back to the Future DeLorean set with Doc, Marty, and Einstein. Like I mentioned all throughout this video, I love this set. $50 retail, definitely go pick it up. So that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link's in the description down below. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.